props are spinning at the old Dyersburg B-17 training base. The Hall's RC Flying Club is taking to the skies.
This club began about 1986, maybe 85. And Dr. Ferris, who was a doctor up at Ripley, he and a few more got this club started. And we were on the other side of this field here for years and years. And we have been up to as many as maybe 60, 65 members.
They just fly different planes, aerobatic, trainers, just all different makes and kinds.
This airplane here is what you call a you can do, and it's made for cutting up in the wind like we have today, and all kinds of stunts. And since I was a little kid, I've always been interested in airplanes, and I'm working on my pilot's license right now. And I've always been fascinated with aircraft, and I always loved flying radio controlled, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good hobby, and I just enjoy it.
There's something about flying, I guess. You know how it is. I know when I was a kid in a cotton field, chopping cotton, plane come by, I always stand and watch it, you know. And there's something about flying that fascinates people. How that plane gets off of the ground and how it stays up there. And that fascinates people, and it makes them interested in it. And we're trying to get young people interested in the hobby. You know, it help on situations that they get into, stay out of trouble. And it's just a lot about aviation we want to keep alive, and we want to teach our young people all about it.
Folks came from all over to fly and to observe. Planes of all sizes and a helicopter were transported by car, truck, and trailers for this fly-in event.
We have RC competitions. AMA does competitions where they compete against each other, and they do different acrobats. They do precision flying. You know, the 4 quarter turns, half turn, 3/4, you know, they do a lot of that stuff, rolls, loops, and they're judged on it. And, you know, it's once you get to do those acrobats and learn to get more advanced in a more advanced plane, it makes you feel good, just watching that plane and what you've been able to make it do.
One of this day's great pilots, Brian Tomlinson, trailered his 40% scale acrobatic plane from South Haven, Mississippi.
It's not really built for speed. It's built for more, like I said, this model is scale of an extra 300. The real extras are used for air show type aerobatics, and this model is 40% the size of the real plane, and it's more designed for precision aerobatics and constant speed through all the maneuvers, whether you're going vertical, you know, up or down, or level. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's got a lot of power. You can do what they call 3D type aerobatics. It can hover like a helicopter. Torque roll is where you're hovering, and the torque of the engine spins the plane. You can do a lot of pretty cool stuff with it.
It's the cool stuff that has made model airplane flying so exciting. Special digital radios, more powerful engines, lighter and stronger materials, even miniature jet engines that push speeds of 200+ miles per hour. How fast do you fly?
I've never clocked it. I figured it's probably 75, 80 miles an hour.
Tell you the truth, you're never at ease. I don't care how long you've been flying. And you've got to keep your eye on that airplane at all times. You look off and turn around and you say, where is it? And see, it's already gone out of sight almost. And some of them are flying up to 110, 120 miles an hour. And they'll get out of sight before you know it. But the plane can be controlled as long as you can see it.
It runs off of just basically a weed eater mix. It's got electronic ignition that's got a preset curve for the timing. It automatically advances the timing, but I use a little bit leaner mixture than you would in a weed eater. It's synthetic oil, it's 100 to 1, but I actually use it in my weed eaters at the house. It's all the same.
I started off years ago, and I guess my own control line, where you fly it with a line, you go round and round, which was a baby ringmaster. And I guess that was my favorite thing, but I advanced from there on up into RC radio control. But as far as radio control, probably my best plane that I like would be P-51. Good maneuverable plane.
I've been with the club, let's see, well, actually I started flying when I was 17 years old. I've been flying about 35 years, and so I've been with the club for about 20 years.
Chris Bomar from Drummond's, Tennessee, brought his helicopter.
Nothing beats it. I can't afford to buy a big helicopter, so I settle for the next best thing, the little one. If you're just learning, you start off with your hovering orientations. You know, upright, you got 4 orientations. Tail in, which is what you learn first, because with the tail in, left and right is still left and right. But then you got nose in, where left and right's gonna be backwards. Then you get your 2 side orientations. And then you get your 4 inverted orientations, where you hover upside down with all 4 orientations. And you got basic aerobatic maneuvers like loops and rolls. And then you can get into more 3D type stuff, you know, like what they call tic-tocs, where the helicopter flips back and forth. Or like the death spiral, where you'll take about 100 foot in the air, flip it sideways and pirouette down, and then try to recover upside down maybe for impression. But don't expect to see nothing like that from me today.
Making new friends, good food, and prize drawings all contribute to a great fly-in. But here in Halls, the location is special too.
If you stop and think about the history of this field, it really makes cold chills run up and down your back. Because I remember the B-17s flying from this air base. And I remember some of the crashes that we had during those times of training. So it's really humbling to think of some of the history that this field has to offer.
Sometimes it's nerve-wracking, as you can see a while ago. I mean, but it's a lot of fun. Between that and being nervous, it's a lot of fun.
because it's a lot of fun, good clean fun. I've been doing it a little over 20 years. Keeps me out of trouble. Put all the problems and all the things, you know, that you deal with during the week, just put all that behind you and just, you know, get out there and fly and have a good time. Every once in a while it's kind of scary, but other than that, it's just a lot of fun.
We have a trainer where if anybody wants to come out and fly, it won't cost them anything. We can put them on a buddy box, and some of the members here can fly with them, and they can learn from there.